Hi guys, I'm Kat. In this video, I'm going to be talking about something that's actually quite difficult for me to talk about, and that's my mental health. I've talked about it before, but I haven't really talked about it in depth. Lately, it's felt like I'm both in slow motion and going really fast through life. I feel like I go on autopilot or like I'm a runaway train and don't really know what's happening. Like the world around me rotates while I stand still, and sometimes I don't know what to do about it. Go through day-to-day life doing things that usually make me happy, but lately it's been like those things are more of a to-do than anything else. For me, it's really hard to talk about what actually goes on in my brain because I'm the kind of person that believes that when you say it out loud, it makes it more real. At least when it's in your mind, you have the ability to kind of push it away and pretend it doesn't exist. But the moment you say it out loud is the moment that it makes it more real. And it's difficult for me. I have a hard time allowing myself to feel sadness or pain. I'll push it down to the point where it boils over, because to me, if I can't control my emotions, it's considered a failure. Failure to me is one of the worst things I can actually ever experience, which is something I've actually never talked about, or really gone in depth about, actually. So basically, I set expectations for myself that I logically understand are too high. But when I can't reach them, I feel like a failure. I process failure in a really bad way. I've actually processed failure worse than I've processed a death in the family. Every time I fail, even if it's the littlest thing, I question if I deserve to be alive, or if I deserve to have friends, or anything. It's actually created a problem in my work life because I'll self-sabotage and I'll quit because I feel like I failed, which is not healthy. I also deal with a lot of anxiety, which makes it worse. And something that I noticed that's real, or really new, I guess, is lately, whenever I feel anxiety, I start to dissociate to the point where I start to believe that I'm not real. Like I don't exist, that life isn't real, that I'm alive and my soul doesn't belong in my body. I call it the Matrix syndrome because I start to think that nothing around me is real. Nobody is real, I'm not real. And it's really hard for me to get a grip back onto reality because I start to feel anxiety. And it's new because I've never had that experience before. I used to have moments that I used to call moments of realization where I would realize that I'm alive and that I'm breathing, but it would never be to the point where I genuinely thought that I wasn't real. And honestly, it's hard for me to say, but there have been times where it feels like I'm so fake and that I'm not real and nothing's real that I've contemplated ending it and just completely stop living because I'm not real anyway. It's difficult because you feel like you don't belong in your body, so what's the point of being in it? I struggle with fighting against myself. What's so strange is that I would never let someone else talk to me the way that I talk to myself. I'd never let someone disrespect me, push me around. But for some reason, it's okay for me to mistreat myself. I haven't been cleaning because my mental health has been so bad. All I can do is lay in my room with my lights and sleep because life is overwhelming. Getting out of bed is like pulling teeth. It's really hard for me to articulate everything. I feel like I'm just going through the motions. I get up, I walk to the bus stop, I wait for it, I go to work, I go to work, I help people, I go home, I eat, and then the cycle starts over. And I don't know. It just sometimes feels meaningless. And a lot of the time, I think if I fake it until I make it, I'll be okay. It'll become real, I'll be fine. But then I'll come to the realization that that's just not how life works. And then I'll feel really bad, anxiety, and then I'll feel like I'm failing at something, that I'm 27 years old and I have nothing to show for it. And part of me doesn't want to share this because I don't want anybody to be triggered or worried. But at the same time, holding it in is like a boiling pot. Eventually, it bubbles over. And it has been proven that when you say how you feel out loud, even if you don't say it well, it is helpful because you get it out of your head. And actually, January is one of the roughest months for mental health because in some places, we're in the dead of winter, so it's cold, it's dark, and it can be really lonely. We're also in the middle of a pandemic, so there's also that isolation. And coming down from the holiday hype, it's actually one of the most depressing months of the year because we're kind of at a stalemate. There's nothing to do. So we just kind of have to sit and wait. And I just got hit with this wave of anxiety. Like my left hand is tingly and I'm trying to level myself out before I have to go back on the floor. So, yeah, what sucks is sometimes I can send myself into a panic attack because I'll start to feel anxious and then I'll start to think, oh God, I'm gonna have a panic attack, which then sends me into having a panic attack. So I'm trying to just not. I'm gonna put on some eucalyptus essential oils and try to stop. Warmers, but I usually carry them around because it's cold. But one thing that helps me is I'm very sensory, so it's squishy, but also I'm gonna actually try to use it to help with get it to activate so I can. Whoa. Because yeah, something that grounds me is warmth. So that's crazy. Look at what it did. And this is what they normally look like. So this is it activated. And this is what it looks like not activated. Look, this is activated. How crazy is that? this is me literally trying to get my shit together. Trying to get myself off the edge of potentially having a panic attack, because I know in this clip I kind of talk about my anxiety, but I didn't really go deep into how strong it was, how bad it was. I literally felt like I was about to jump off a cliff of panic. And I'm trying not to show how frightened I actually was that day. Because I was. I haven't had a full-blown panic attack in a long time. And I'm always in constant terror that I'm gonna have one. Every single day that I leave my house, I'm afraid. Does anybody else, when they feel like the slightest bit of anxiety, like during the day, just like feel like the life was sucked out of you, like by the end of the day? Because like I felt like anxiety hit me really hard at work, and then I got home and I just feel like just the life was taken out of me, like my soul was sucked through me. And I gotta get up and do it again tomorrow. Beautiful thing about having to have a full-time job in order to barely be able to pay rent or feed myself or pay for power and heat or warm water. It's frustrating. I barely have hot water because I can't pay for it. But I have a home. I have a blanket. I have many blankets. My cats have food. So despite the hard parts, I'm lucky in that aspect. It doesn't make the sadness or the depression or the frustration any less valid. But I also want to check my privilege, because I am privileged. But it is okay to be sad about the situation you're in. And you are valid in those emotions. And I think that's something I need to remember to tell myself, is that it's okay to feel those things, and you don't need to compare your pain or your depression or your situation to other people, because at the end of the day, those are other people. It's not your journey. So, but yeah, those are just my thoughts right now before I go to sleep. And gonna go to sleep to Harry Potter, because I've been listening to Harry Potter, the Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone, on Audible. Didn't realize how many lines from the book are actually in the movie, because a lot of the times movies will either take one or two lines or not any, but the Sorcerer's Stone actually takes quite a bit. So, but yeah, just some midnight thoughts for you, but I hope you're having a good night. And like I've said before, and I'll probably say again a lot in this video, tomorrow's a new day. I'm about to say something that's gonna make me sound like a bitch, but do you ever feel like so mentally tired that your ability to have empathy or give a shit about just anything is just gone? I mean, like, normally, okay, so here's the backstory behind this.
I was just at work, okay? I work at an eye place. I'm an optician. Some girl comes in. She asks me about if the doctor was still in. No, he left at 4. She came in at 5:30. She said, okay, well, I have shingles and Instacare told me to go to my eye doctor. Can they come in tomorrow? And I said, I'm so sorry, but Saturdays, our doctor is only here for half of the day and we are completely booked. There's no wiggle room. Each appointment takes 20 minutes. And she goes, well, like, at the risk of going blind, that kind of sucks. And I said, I know, I'm sorry, but there's not a lot I can do. If you want to give me your phone number and your name, I can call you if someone cancels. But other than that, we don't have any wiggle room. I'm so mentally and emotionally exhausted. Typically, if I wasn't, I would feel bad, but I don't, because it's like, what the fuck do you want me to do, lady? Like, we have appointments for a reason, and like, my doctor's in his contract, it says he only works till 12 o'clock on Saturdays. So, it's like, if you would have called and been like, hey, I have this going on, then I'd be like, okay, let me see if my doctor will stay later. Because when you have shingles and a doctor has to look at your eyes, it's not like a 10-minute or 5-minute appointment. It's like probably 20 to 40 minutes. We don't have time for that. And yes, it makes me a bitch. I sound like a bitch. But right now my ability to care about a lot is so depleted. I don't know if anybody else has that, where like they're so mentally exhausted from just life throughout the week, and then so by the end of the week you're just like a husk of a human, and part of you knows that you should feel bad, part of you knows that you should feel empathy, but another part of you is like, fuck it, okay, because I'm tired. I just had to say that, and the whole point of this video is to just kind of like be honest. And that's my honest feeling right now. It's like, of course I feel bad, I don't want you to go blind, lady, but at the same time it's like, work smarter, not fucking harder. If you knew this was a problem, you should have called her earlier. Maybe you just got back from an appointment. I doubt it. But like, and also, don't talk to me like that. Don't treat me badly, because like, I don't have control over my doctor or how the schedule works. Shit.
I'm always on a constant journey of trying to figure out what is going on with me, not just externally, but mostly mentally, because there are days where I'm fine and there are days where I'm not. And I have to figure out something that works for me, healthy coping mechanisms and things that I can improve to make my life better. Because I'm 27 years old and I feel like I need to do something, because at the end of the day, all I want to be is happy, not just with myself, but with the choices that I make. And I honestly don't know what the best course of action is yet. And part of me wants to end this video on a positive note, but all I can say is things are really hard right now, but they won't always be. And it sucks, but it's gonna be okay. And it's okay to not be happy. It's okay to have rough days. It's okay to not want to put a positive spin on everything and smile when you feel like it's too much. It's okay. I think people forget that, and unfortunately people will tell you to suck it up and it's not that bad. and make you feel wrong for the way that you feel, but you have to understand that it is okay. And hopefully at the end of it, you'll be better and stronger. Because that's what I hope for myself. So, that's it, I guess. I know that this isn't the greatest video. I know that it's a little rough, but it's real and it's genuine. And I feel like the more that we talk about it, the more that we show it, the less strange or taboo or weird it would be. And the more people will feel comfortable talking about it because it's really helpful. But I'm gonna go. And I hope that you're having a good day. And that everything is okay. And just know that you're not alone. And that it's okay to not have the energy to smile and fake it till you make it. It's okay. Because tomorrow's a new day. With new opportunities and new chances. So, here's to tomorrow.